Okay, hello, I'm Nurul Ashikin binti Norizan, and this is our group member. Me, Nurul Ashikin binti Norizan, Shazwani Husna, Hani Suhaili, Hanafia, and Franklin. So today we would like to present about the Education Sustainable Development for Rural Areas program in Malaysia. For sustainable development approach in education, the concept of sustainable development is development that meets the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. This development may be necessary to meet human needs and improve the quality of life. It must happen without depleting the capacity of the natural environment to meet present and future needs. The sustainable development movement has grown and campaigned on the basis that sustainability protect both the interests of future generation and the earth capacity to generate. The key themes of education sustainable development is focused on environmental concern. It also addresses themes such as poverty alleviation, citizenship, peace, ethnics, responsibility in local and global context, democracy and governance, justice, human rights, gender equality, corporate responsibility, natural resource management, and biological diversity. For this development, we are using whole school approach. ESD calls for sustainable development to be integrated throughout the formal sector curriculum in a holistic manner rather than being taught on a standalone basis. A school will incorporate teaching and learning for sustainable development not only through aspects of the curriculum, but also through sustainable school operations such as integrated governance, stakeholder and community involvement, long-term planning, and sustainability monitoring and evaluation. And the whole school approach also advocates for active and participatory learning, a hallmark of ESD, and call for the entire school, including students, educators, and administrators, to be actively engaged in working towards a sustainable school with ESD fully integrated into a curriculum as the driving factor. For the education sustainable development based on United Nations Decades of Sustainable Development 2006, there are seven things that they are stated in the United Nations Decade of Sustainable Development, which is be embedded in the curriculum in an interdisciplinary and holistic manner, share the value and principle that underpin sustainable development, promote critical thinking, problem solving, and action, employ a variety of educational methods such as literature, arts, drama, and debate to participate in the educational program, address local as well as global issue, and avoid jargon-ridden languages and terms. And the last one is look to the future, ensuring the content has a long-term perspective and uses medium and long-term planning. That's all for me. I will pass the next slide to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, next is we will look into the introductions of development project. So, development project is meant that any project that undertaken for the purpose of development. This development project also have to generate and gather the factor from all sides to work towards the same objective. Okay, the issues that we obtain for the program is there is no internet connection, especially in rural area. And because of pandemic, the students have to do online learnings. And this can affect the students that don't have any technological tools such as tab, phone, and laptop to participate in their online learning. This also can make them hard to do homework if the teachers give them because they don't have any technological tools to do it. And the program that we suggest is the Education's Sustainable Development for Rural Area program. This program is help to improve the educations in rural area. Presenter.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Sazwani. Next, I gonna explain how we are trying to implement of this project. So the first of all is to provide internet center or internet facilities. So each village or each school area will provide with an internet center with they were given a laptop or PC, and the most important part and crucial part is internet. And our priority is students, so we try to make it is a free, so it will accessible to them. Priority internet users is given to students. If the villagers or teacher want to use it, we allow it, but we take priority to into the student. Next is because in our time, because of pandemics, um, we want to student able to conduct online class because in the rural area they have problem internet connectivity, and furthermore not all can afford a laptop, so it's better to implement this project because it really helps them. And next is our implement is to promote computer literacy, which the teacher or us will provide guidance to the children on how to avoid plagiarism, which in the right now as a student, a school student, probably it doesn't matter much, but in the future, this part is really important because it prepare themselves. Next is the use of social media for learning and collaborating. So with this, they can collaborate and using social media platform as to learn, where they can collaborate with other students from other school, from other state, and also outside from this country. It helps them connect to outside world. So next is teach them how to obtain useful information on the internet. So internet is a lot of things. There are a lot of information. So here we teach the children how to obtain useful internet information, such as using a proper website, and teach them that don't believe everything in the Facebook. Instead, teach them how to obtain, how to gain information better, such as JSTOR, Emerald Insight, stuff like that. And lastly is give guide student guide student out of their comfort zone. So where students usually before this they physical, always in physical class. So with online we makes them get out the comfort zone. So in a way they will learn this and in the end they also get better feedback about get a better knowledge about this, so they will learning about this program. So that's for me. I give pass to the next presenter.
Okay,
Next.
thank you, Franklin. Okay. Next, we will discuss on reasons for using sustainable development approach in education. Okay. First, education is one of the basic needs that all children should have, especially in the rural area. So from education, we can overcome the poverty. This is shown from the researcher and studies that education can be used to overcome the poverty. Okay. The second is education for sustainable development is to empower and equip current and future generation to meet the needs and improve the quality of life. To do this, the education must change to provide the knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes that empower learners to contribute to sustainable development. Okay. Next, to produce learning outcomes that include core competencies such as critical and systematic thinking, collaborative decision making, and taking responsibility for the present and future generation. Okay. The fourth one is to empower youth and local communities. Interacting with education institutions become key actors in advancing sustainable development. Okay, and finally, when the education is accessible in rural area to all throughout their life, education become the engine of sustainable development and the key to a better world for future generation. Okay, that's all from me. We move to the next presenter, Hanafia.
Okay, so hello, thank you. So, I am Hanafia and I will be presenting our last point for this presentation. My point will be on how the approach employed will affect the development program towards our rural community people. Firstly, it improved the rural community education because this approach is very useful because by using this approach, we can promote critical thinking, problem solving, and action for the educated students, especially. And when the students learn, they will teach their parents. So both student and parents will have more improvement in their educational thinking. The second one is all resources for educational purposes of rural community will have the same importance because this approach is all about how we use these resources optimum condition because resources nowadays are very limited. So we will have the same resources for every rural community under our program so that they will enjoy the same privilege, the same benefit for all. Like the one that my friend earlier, Franklin, said on giving free internet for in each school so that the students in that school will have a better chance in learning. So when they have better chance in learning, it means that their education will be more and more better. And the last one is members of rural area community will have a better understanding on the importance of education because nowadays without education you will not have a higher wage. Even the minimum wage nowadays by the Malaysian government is around 1.2k, 1,200 minimum wage. This minimum wage is not how in big cities, this minimum wage is not very useful because those who have low wage, they will not have a better lifestyle. So if these people, these students that is under our program knows the importance of education, then they will know. They must go for a higher education such as degree, master's or PhD so that they will have better wage. So when they know this, it means that they will have a better lifestyle. They will be out from what we call as poverty. And that is all from us. Thank you.